Are you a new real estate agent wondering what you can do to find and have that successful business that you want? Today I'm going to share with you 7 specific steps that you can take action on right now. They're going to lead to that business you're looking for. One of the most alarming statistics that I know is that 85% plus of the real estate agents that come into the business after 5 years are no longer in the business. So this is a business where you have to have a strategic plan of action and you have to be very purposeful in what you're doing. The problem is a lot of people aren't sure what to do, and that's what we're going to take care of today. I'm going to give you a specific plan of action, the steps I've seen in over 30 years of working as an agent and working with agents to help them find that success. So let's start with where we should always start with, and that is we have to understand that this is a know, like, and trust business. And what I mean by that is that people do business with people they like, that they know, and also those people that they ultimately trust when they're thinking about buying or selling real estate. So what I want to do is we're going to start with some basics here, okay? So as we go into this is going to progressively get into more of the type of things that you can do that are going to be at the next level. But let's start with the basics. The first one is this: build out a list of your quote-unquote sphere of influence. Now what a sphere of influence is who are the people that you have some influence over, or that have the ability that if the opportunity came, they would send you a referral, they would recommend you. Who are the people that if they're buying or selling would trust you enough to go ahead and handle that process for them? And who is it that has the ability to help you at this point by understanding who you are to move your career forward? So let's talk about who this list should be. This should be anyone that you know that is a homeowner. Anyone that knows you that you know that is a homeowner, they're going to be in this list. Anyone you know that has bought a house or that is thinking about buying a house, they should be in this list. Anyone you know that is in a similar situation in life where you are, where maybe their housing needs are going to mirror yours, whether that be you're new and you're younger and you're going to be a first-time home buyer, who are the people that you could help be a first-time home buyer? If you're someone with kids, maybe your family is expanding, who is it that you can help that's going to have an expanding family that's going to need a larger house than the one they're in today? If you're an investor, who are the investors that you can help? Make this list. Now, you want to utilize the CRM that your brokerage is providing or that you're paying for. Now, if you don't have a CRM, understand this: simply using a spreadsheet and building this out and using something like MailChimp or Constant Contact, where you've got a way that you can communicate with these folks on a regular basis, is going to be critical for your success. But start basically with name, phone number, email address, any information you have on that spreadsheet. Put that into your spreadsheet, put it into your CRM, and now we've got a foundation that we can begin to work with. Again, fundamentally, you have to understand this is a contact business. Well, the best thing we can do is build a list of contacts that we can begin to add value to in a way that will keep you top of mind, so that when the opportunity comes to either send a referral or do business with you, that they don't think of anybody else besides you. The next step is to realize that you can add value to other top agents, and that's how you're going to be able to understand and realize exactly what it is they're doing in their business. Now, let me break this down for you. What is it that you have a talent in? Are you really good with social media? Are you a good photographer? Do you understand how to shoot video? What is it that you can do that you can add value to a top-tier agent in exchange for the ability to be around them and watch how they do their business? This is one of the things as a top agent, I'm just going to give you this background. If you go to someone and just say, hey, listen, can I take you to lunch and pick your brain? I promise you that top agent is too busy and is going to be annoyed by that request. But if you come from a place of, hey, I've been looking at your social media, I think I could help you in a couple of ways. I'd love to meet with you and share with you some of the things that I could do for free in exchange for an opportunity to ask you a few questions about what you would do if you were me and starting in the business now. What is it that you wish you would have known? You see, give before you expect someone to give you something back. When you give, you'll absolutely begin to receive. This is a natural flow of the things that are out there. But start evaluating. What is it that you can do? What part of the business are you excited about? What is your skill set that you're bringing into this business that maybe a top agent doesn't have that skill set that you can provide for free, and in exchange, they're going to mentor you in a way that's going to take you, what would have taken you 9 months to understand, maybe it takes you 9 weeks. You see, when you begin to align yourself with top producers and you're around it, just naturally you'll begin to see things that you would do in your business, ways that you might do things a little bit different in your business. But you have to be around top producers to become a top producer. The old saying that we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Understand this: don't spend all your time with other new agents. Find ways to add values, to get in the room and get in the opportunities where those top agents are. When you do this, when you give, I promise you, especially when you give freely it will be given back to you. Follow that pattern and you'll absolutely learn the business a lot faster, and you'll be able to do it at a higher level. Number three is to understand this is a contact business, so we need to keep a log of how many contacts we're having. The industry averages are that it takes 50 real estate related conversations to generate one transaction. Now, what is a real estate related conversation? This is any conversation you have where real estate comes up. Hey, do you guys still love your home? Hey, I was calling to give you an update on what's going on in your neighborhood. You see, these are those kind of conversations. So how do we generate these conversations? Let me give you some specific strategies that you can take action on. But I want you to begin to think about it from a standpoint of is what are those conversations you need? And then I'm going to tell you in just a minute exactly how you can track them in a way that's going to lead to that success. Number one is whatever it takes for you to get those conversations. Doing open houses. You may not have listings. Again, find those top agents that you can add value to. You're going to find opportunities to do open houses. But if you're going to do an open house and it's not a top agent that you've done, show them the benefit to them of doing that open house. Begin to understand that, hey, if you have any open houses where I can help you, I'm going to, at the end of that open house, send you an email that's easy for you to copy and paste. It's going to give an outline of everybody that came, what their feedback was on the house, and so that you can easily take that, copy it, paste it, email it to your seller. That's going to make you have the opportunity to add some value to your seller without doing much work. You see, when we add value to those top agents, we're going to get these opportunities. Maybe it's a situation where you don't have those opportunities to do open houses. Well, what can you do otherwise? Go find properties that have recently sold and begin to call those neighbors and give them updates. So here's the way that this conversation would go. Mr. and Miss Seller, this is Jimmy Burgess with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Just wanted to give you a quick call because, not sure if you're aware, but the house 4 doors down from yours just recently sold, and it's really probably affect the value of your house. Just curious if you got the details on that sale. Now, in the preparation for this, what we're going to do is we're going to pull those sales details up. We're going to understand who this person is that we're calling. If you need to find the phone numbers, Truth Finder is a great way to do that. There's a number of other services, Red X, that are out there to get you phone numbers, or you can just do a Google search is what I used to do. So what you can do now is you can begin to add value. They're going to say, no, I didn't hear about this. Give them the details. Give them value. Have a market opinion, as my friend David Childers from Keeping Current Matters says. Have an understanding of what's going on in the market, how this sale will affect those folks. Give them value. And then at the end, the whole goal of this is not to get a listing appointment. It's just simply to say, hey, I'd love to keep in touch with you. As other things come on the market and are sold, we have an automated system that will get you the details emailed out to you so you know what's happening on the things that will affect your value. At that point, you have that ability really to begin to get their email address, stay in contact with them because we're building blocks, so to speak, in our business. The next thing we're going to talk about in just a few minutes is how we really add value to those people once we get them in our database. But it all starts with building that database, having those conversations, and beginning to add value. Now, if their home never comes up as far as in this actual, when you're doing this, when you're having this conversation, here's a line that you can always use at the end that's going to really give you the opportunity to find some of those listing opportunities if they're available right then. At the end of the conversation, just simply say, hey, look, I'm looking forward to staying in touch with you guys, giving you some more information as it comes available on things that will affect your value. But I'd be the worst realtor in the world if I didn't at least ask if there's a price where you guys might consider selling. Then just be quiet. Let them answer that question. Whatever they say, oh, that's great. Listen, just know I'm here if I can ever help. If they say I'm ready, say, hey, great. I'd love to have the opportunity to share with you or give you a free, no obligation, updated idea of exactly what your place is worth. Let the conversation flow. I love to have scripts or specific lines we say, but don't get so set up on the scripts that you don't just have a general conversation with someone where you're just talking with someone, where you're just adding value to someone, where it's natural, because the more natural this is and the more calls you make, the more opportunities you're going to get. Again, open houses, making those phone calls, door knocking, going around after a sale, or when you're hosting one of those open houses prior to it, let me use that as an example, walking up and knocking on the door and say, hey, I'm just letting the neighbors know I'm going to be holding an open house 4 doors down. That'll be on Saturday. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to know about this in case you saw a bunch of cars on Saturday. We're going to be doing that to the public from 11 till 1. But listen, if you're curious about that home or you have someone that you know that might be interested in this house, I'm actually going to be there from 10 to 11. So that if you'd like to come by before the crowd, so to speak, or maybe it's just a few of your neighbors there, feel free to stop by between 10 and 11, and I'll have it open, but it won't be for the general public. It'll just be for those of you in the neighborhood. Now, what this does is it gives them a little bit of feeling a little bit special. Also, the conversation should be different. If someone shows up between 10 and 11, odds are that's a nosy neighbor that is curious about how this house compares to theirs because they're thinking about selling. That's a different conversation. You introduce yourself when they show up. You talk to them in a way that says, hey, listen, obviously you guys live in the neighborhood. Is it something where you guys have considered selling in the near future? Because if so, I'd love to keep in touch with you and let you know what's happening with this house so that you can kind of see how this house might affect the sale of your home. Again, we're not going in for the listing appointment immediately. If we see that opportunity, obviously we're going to do that. But what we're doing is we're building a relationship. Remember when we first started, we said they need to know you. This is what we're doing with these calls, with these open houses, also with door knocking. Then they need to like you. So we're going to just have a general, easy conversation so they can begin to like you, because we like people that give us information that helps us. And then we want to get them to the point where they trust us. And if you're keeping in contact with them through the sale of that particular home that you're having the open house on, I promise you're going to build that trust that you're looking to have with them. And it's going to give you those listing opportunities. Now let's talk about a recent sale. If a house is sold, we talked about making the phone calls, but a very effective way to do this also is to walk and door knock that neighborhood. Again, we want to be very careful in today's society, but if we've got information that gives value, I promise you're going to be amazed at how welcoming people will be. We're going to have a flyer about the sale. We're going to knock on the door. We're just going to simply say, hey, listen, just want to let you know, we recently had a sale 3 doors down from your house. I wanted to give you the information. We're just letting the neighbors know, because typically when we have a sale, pretty regularly we'll see that the industry averages show that about 15% of the neighbors at least consider selling their home based on that previous sale. So I just want to get you the information. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out and let me know if I can help in any way. Again, one of the things we're going to do is as we leave, if their home doesn't come up and they just take the information, just before you leave, just say, hey, listen, obviously I'd be the worst real estate agent in the world if I didn't at least ask if there's a price where you guys might consider selling, because the amount of activity we saw in that, we know we have more buyers that are interested in living in this neighborhood. Again, building value. The goal is to get their contact information if at all possible. Hey, listen, I'd love to keep in touch as we see more sales in here in the neighborhood, just so you know how it keeps in touch. We also have an automated system that anything that comes on the market, goes under contract, or is sold in this neighborhood, it will email it to you, and we'll do that. You can do this through your MLS. Every CRM that I know has this capability, but these are ways that we can get them in our database, we can begin to add value, and we can have these real estate related conversations. Again, the key is real estate related conversations. Now let me tell you how to track this in a way where we backfill the activities to get you that success you're looking for. Let's say that you want to have 12 transactions in your first year, okay? 1 a month. This is something that's very doable, especially if you'll follow the patterns we're talking here. If you'll look on my YouTube channel and you start looking for ways to build and use strategies that you can generate leads, that you can have some of these closings and compound the effects on your sphere of influence. But let's track these numbers. Again, when you first start, it may take more than 50 conversations, but the averages will work themselves out. It's not going to be on the first 50. You may strike lightning in a bottle with your first 10 conversations and get one, or it may take you 100. But if you do the work over time, it's going to work out where it's an average of 50 conversations per transaction. So if we want to do 12 transactions in a year, we just simply do 12 times the 50. That gives us 600 real estate related conversations. Now, if we break this down on 12 months, because we're backfilling on what we need on daily activities, all of a sudden we can see that basically we just need 50 real estate related conversations every single month over the next year to be able to get that 1 transaction per month we want. Now, if we back that down 4 weeks into that 12 and a half conversations, basically, I like to move that up to 15 conversations because, listen, on the front end, it's going to take more energy. It's going to take more calls to get to that average over time. But if we just use the number of 15 per week, we're talking about having 3 real estate related conversations every single day, 5 days a week. If you're going to have success in this business, let me be very clear, it's not going to happen on 5 days a week, but let's use that for the conversations we have. And now we have a built-in plan where at the end of every day, if we can say, you know what, I had 3 real estate related conversations where I gathered contact information. I added 3 people to my database today that I can keep in contact with, I can build a relationship with, that are going to create opportunities in the near or into the future. I'm going to give us that opportunity to really find the success we're looking for. Track those real estate conversations and you will absolutely have the success you're looking for. All right, we just talked about adding the people to our database, building out this database, but how are we going to consistently add value to people in a way that is automated? Because here's what happened when I first started in my career. This was back in the old days. This is my part where I say back in my day. But basically what we had to do is we had to keep notebooks and understand, and we would call these folks and we would have to be cute on that. Well, now there's systematic approaches through your CRM where you can set up these automations. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Every single person in your database should have an automated email going out, whether that be through your CRM or whether that be through maybe your local MLS. letting them know about properties that are to their situation. So if they're a homeowner, this would be properties in their neighborhood that are similar to theirs, where you set the search up to automatically send anytime that something comes on the market, goes under contract, or that sells like their home. This is systematic. This keeps you in front of them. This is one of those touches that keeps you top of mind. If it's a potential buyer, we've got an understanding of exactly what it is that they're looking for, and we have that search that anything that comes on the market, goes under contract, or anything that comes on the market specifically that is like the home that they might want to purchase is emailed to them, or something that is price reduced. Again, these are systematic approaches. In our CRM, or utilizing MLS if you don't have a CRM yet, because you want to get to a CRM as quick as you can. And a CRM is basically your contact management program that gives you the ability to keep all this information in one place. The other thing we're going to want to do is after every single time we put someone in that CRM, we're going to want to go either into your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you're using. Most CRMs are going to have a to-do list, and we're going to set up follow-up plans to make sure that we are notified when we should be calling these folks. What I like to do is depending on who it is, if this is a homeowner that says, yeah, we might sell in 6 months, typically the activity that they end up doing is in half the time. Sometimes it may be a little bit longer, it may be that, but typically we want to make sure that we don't wait till the last minute to contact them. So if I know that somebody says they're going to list in 6 months, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to give them an updated idea of where their value is. I'm going to set up where I'm going to do that on a monthly basis. So I'm going to put that as a to-do in my calendar. I'm also going to set up that automated program to let them know about houses that are coming on the market. And I'm going to set myself up to check in with them with text, phone call, or an email that's personalized to them every 2 weeks going forward. Again, we're building the trust. Over time, you build the trust by being consistent and by consistently adding value that helps them in a way. And it's not just, hey, just curious if anything's changed. No, we want to give them something specific. So for instance, if we see one of these homes that comes on the market or goes under contract that will affect their value, not only are we going to let the system send that to them, we're going to send them a personalized email or a personalized call. Hey, just want to make sure you saw this. The house in your neighborhood that's very similar to your floor plan just went on the market. Watching this and this pricing they have is going to give us a clear indication of where we should be priced. And I'll give you kind of the marketing plan based on what we would do with this house when and if you're ready for that. Again, give value on a consistent basis. If you have a buyer that says that they're thinking about buying next fall or whenever it is, 6, 12 months from now, automate the system, put the to-dos in your calendar, and make sure you follow up with those folks. Listen, just getting the email addresses and not following up is a waste of time. The biggest thing and the best thing you can do is find a group of people that you begin to consistently add value to. I'd rather you go deep or build relationship with a few people than try to go wide and just buy a bunch of leads that you're not going to be able to follow up with, and you're not going to have any way to move them from knowing you to liking you to trusting you. This is a business of consistency. Set your systems up to stay in touch with those people in your CRM, and you'll begin to see a consistent flow of opportunities happening as your business moves forward. The next step a new agent should be taking is to immerse yourself in training and becoming the best real estate agent that you can possibly do. Now listen, you can look at my stuff, the videos that I have on YouTube. You can watch what Jimmy Mackin's doing from a marketing standpoint. You can watch what Tom Ferry's doing from all areas of real estate. There's a number of different areas out there. You can watch what Keeping Current Matters is doing, providing information about details about what's affecting the real estate market. But make sure you find whoever it is for you that is going to help you understand how to do this business better. Every single day you should be adding people to your database. Every single day you should be learning a new skill or working on the skill that you already have in real estate so that you become better prepared when the opportunities come. So what does that look like? What are the areas that you first want to focus in on? Number one, we talked about adding leads. So you have to have some study on how to generate leads. Number two is how do I negotiate? So right now, NAR is actually offering the ABR designation, which gives you the ability to be an accredited buyer representative for free. This is a program that typically costs $600. So take advantage of these opportunities to get some designations, get some training, because ultimately your success is going to depend on how well you take care of your clients and the value you bring to them. The way that businesses compound is that you have a successful transaction where that person you did the transaction with is wowed by the service you gave them. They're looking at you as the resource that they utilize, and they can't help but tell other people about this. Again, compounding your business is not going to come from more lead generation. Compounding your business is going to come from building relationships and having those folks refer additional people to you moving forward. Make sure that you're out there and that you're becoming a better agent every single day, and every single day you're going to have more and more opportunities to build the business of your dreams. The sixth thing to do is don't waste time on irrelevant things. One of the things that I see new agents do is they're trying to spend hours, weeks, days getting other people's opinions on a logo. Nobody cares about your logo. All the buyers and sellers really care about is what value do you bring to them. Don't waste your time spending it with a ton of new agents that are trying to figure it also. You may find a mastermind group of agents that are that you have complete confidence are going to do whatever it takes to become a great agent. Spend some time with those folks. But notice who it is that you're spending time with. Notice the things that you're looking at. Are you scrolling on the internet while you're in the office instead of making phone calls? Start making the phone calls. Are you delaying the things that you know you need to do to take your business to the next level? Stop delaying and start taking action. You see, when you have a plan of action, which is what we've been talking about, it really comes down to the last step, which is this. Work your face off. What is it that you can do that you've never done before? When a rocket is taking off, the most energy that you need to expend to get that rocket is when you first start, when you're getting it off the ground. Once you get this thing moving, you're not going to have to work nearly as hard to keep it moving in the direction you want it to go. But you're starting your business right now. When you're starting your business, expect to work harder. Expect to have some disappointments. Expect to know that there are going to be people that aren't going to do business with you that you thought were going to do business with you. When you come from a place where you're working hard and you can get past those first few disappointments, because I promise you they're coming if they haven't happened yet, be prepared for them, and you continue to do the work. You continue to be the hardest working person you know. You continue to be the person who's learning the most about this business. That's when you can have confidence that this too shall pass. You will move through this and you will have the success that you're looking for. Again, it's going to be harder than you think. It's going to take longer than you think, but it's absolutely going to be worth it. If you're a new agent that's looking for those things that you can do, go back and listen to this video again. Go back and look at the things that I talked about and find the areas where you can begin to build those relationships, add more value, and become the best agent possible. If you'll do those things, I promise, this is something that not just that I think, this is something that I know the business of your dreams is right around the corner. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.